Why am I scared to leave my bike alone? Where should you park your bike? Let's talk about it. Inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're enjoying the channel and this series. Please like, share, subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com and leave loads of comments below. So look, in this video I'm talking about, you just got your new pride and joy. Are you still a little bit nervous about leaving it, parking it up somewhere, and thinking that one, it might be stolen, it might be attacked in some way, something might be stolen off it, that kind of thing? I think it's only natural to have that sort of protective tendency when you first get a new bike. I think it depends where you live in the world as well. There might be motorcycle theft, it might be more common than others. I always, if I'm going somewhere, then, obviously they're alarmed these days as well. If you haven't got an alarm on your bike, it might be good to try and put one on there. I always put the steering lock on. I always get nervous when you can have lots of modifications on a bike and then that stops the ability for you to have the steering lock. I'm not too sure that's a good idea myself. I always carry a padlock with me, so I lock up the disc, put a disc lock on as well, that kind of thing. But fundamentally, you've got to park your bike somewhere, haven't you? Now, if it's at home, hopefully it's in a secure, locked garage, or it's in a compound, or it's in your garden or something like that. If you have to park it on the street, then make sure it's really padlocked well, lots of chains or anything like that. If you can park it in a well-lit area, that helps as well, beneath a lamppost, that kind of thing. But let's face it, if you're leaving it on the street, the chances are it might be open to attack or attention. The thing is with Harleys is that they do attract a lot of motorcycle theft attention as well. Thieves go after that kind of bike because they can strip them for parts or ship them off to other parts of the world as well. So that's something to be aware of. When you're going out and about, I tend to always try and leave my bike in public places where lots of people are going around, in bike parks, where there are amongst other bikes as well. Always lock it up. Never just rely on the alarm. Always put the steering lock on, always put the padlock on. But, it begs the question, where should you park your bike? I think make sure it's visible. Don't try and leave it in dodgy areas as well. If you have to go somewhere, always keep an eye on it if you can. If you think it's going to be dodgy. Never, well, obviously, we're riding with fobs, the modern bikes. But obviously, if you're just using the old keys, make sure you always take the keys with you, that kind of thing. If you've got stuff on your bike as well, let's say phones or GPS units, make sure you take those off and take those with you as well. Lock them away. If you've got lockable boxes, panniers, whatever, make sure they're locked. That kind of thing. Or, if you're overnighting somewhere, just empty everything out of those boxes so you got nothing expensive or something that is precious to you on the bike. You basically just want to keep that bike as safe as possible. You also want to think smart, ride smart and park smart as well. As I say, try not to put your bike in a vulnerable position where it's going to be attracting attention. Try not to leave it in areas that you might think might be suspect to some theft or some damage, or kids jumping all over it and damaging the bike as well. So that's just something you got to be aware of. If it's a case of you want to protect the bike in terms of from the weather and everything like that, then you got to think about maybe covers. You got to think about, okay, is there anything around me that could possibly fall onto my bike? Try not to park it beneath a tree, next to buildings with loose roof tiles or stuff like that. How do you know a building's got loose roof tiles? Well, you see if there's any debris on the floor, by the building. If there's debris on the floor, the chances are it's falling off the roof. So park it away from the building like that. All that kind of stuff. So, these are the kind of things that where you would park your bike. Hopefully it's secure parking, whether at home or whether at work or in some kind of public area. Make sure it's well lit. Hopefully make sure that, if there is any CCTV monitoring, if you're leaving it in a public car park, make sure that it's actually next to a CCTV camera, so you know they can pick that up. But also have your bike protected as well, of course. You know, steering lock, you know, alarm, disc lock, data tag as well. They're putting on, I think all Harleys now they're putting on that. Certainly on mine, they've got data tagging on mine as well, which is really good. And if you haven't got that, I would suggest you do that as well. And that's basically data tag. You can look it up. It's basically your bike is serialized all over. So all over the parts are serialized, so they can track it. They can track it as well. Yeah, so, you know, data tag, they know exactly where your bike is, or they can search your bike as well. So it's a lot harder, but, you know, that doesn't stop anybody from damaging it or stealing it. You know, it's one of those things you got to be aware of. Anyway, you know, I just thought I'd bring this up. Again, you know, sometimes I get questions like this on not only about Harleys, but also about other bikes as well, about bike security and everything like that. So I thought I'd just talk about it here today. You know, the same process you could apply to all bikes, all cars, or anything like that if you want to keep it secure. You know, just do the best you can. What you're doing essentially is just making it difficult for anybody to want to steal your bike. So if you're leaving it at home, you know, have it chained up, have a disc lock on. You know, if you've got a ground anchor, you know, have it chained to a ground anchor, that kind of thing. But, you know, if somebody's adamant that they want to get your bike, chances are they're going to get it. So you just got to try and make it hard for them to do that. But fundamentally, what you want is good insurance on your bike, because having good insurance, just in case a horrible thing ever did happen, at least you're not going to lose your money. At least you can go out and replace it, hopefully replace your bike as well. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you found that useful. Please like, share, subscribe, leave loads of comments below. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about where you should park your bike, whether day, night, that kind of thing. Have you got any top tips to keeping your bike secure as well? That'd be really good. Leave loads of tips below. Right, catch you on the next video, whenever that is. Cheers now.
RevelatorAlf.